Guys, the bosses said if we don't get to 200 likes on this video, the channel might get deleted. I got a lot of pressure on me here. Help me out. Hit the like button so we can get started on this video and keep the channel rolling. Welcome into Titans Today. I'm Abby Alonzo, and of course, we got to talk Taylor Lewan replacements. He, as well as Robert Woods, Zach Cunningham, and Randy Bullock were all cut last week. Ran Carthon came in and said, hey, see ya, I'm making moves. It's time to up this roster, and he's doing just that. But we got to figure out who's going to come in and play left tackle. If Taylor Lewan is out, who does that leave? But let's give credit to a guy who really had a great career with Tennessee. He was the 11th overall pick in 2014. He spent 9 years with the Titans. He was loyal. He got a whole fan base to call him dad. I don't even know how you do that, but he did it. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, and he played 105 games, started 100 of them. Taylor Lewan, man, props to you. He's a great guy, Hall of Fame career. We hate to see him leave, but he knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. It was in the best interest of the organization, and he is completely behind it. He made us proud. We love that he was a Titan, but it's time to close that chapter. With him, as well as the other 3 that were cut, the Titans went from $23.5 million over the cap to $11.3 million in cap savings, which really allows them to go out and make some moves during this offseason. They got to do it. They got to make moves because you can't roll with what you got now, and they've got the money to do just that now. The video today is all about who's going to come in and bolster this O-line. Well, let me tell you, it's not going to be Dennis Daly. You guys have let me know that you are not a fan, that he just didn't cut it last season. You want to see something else. I don't think he'll be the starter. I think Ran Carthon, Mike Vrabel are smart enough to bring in some new guys to really revamp this O-line, bring some athleticism, some talent, some youth, some health maybe to this O-line. And we'll look at some top free agents who they could go out and get. You've got George Fant from the Jets, Mike McGlinchey, who is my favorite on this list, and we'll talk about him in a moment, in San Francisco. Billy Turner in Denver, Kaleb McGary, who is another one that could land in Tennessee. He'd be a good fit. And Dawand Jones as well from Baltimore. These guys, like, honestly, all of them would kind of be a little bit of an upgrade to an O-line that just really didn't help out their quarterback or their receivers last season. Derrick Henry struggled even with getting open lanes to run the ball. But Mike McGlinchey could be a guy that comes in here and kind of bolsters this O-line and does some good to it, brings some veteran experience. He's in San Francisco, but there's talks about him not being there next season. He played 1,036 snaps, 561 pass block snaps, only 10 penalties, which is pretty good. 6 sacks allowed, 3 hits allowed, and 27 total pressures. Those are good numbers. That's what you want to see from a guy who could potentially come in and help out an O-line that is in desperate need and is crying SOS, please help us. That's not a joke. Seriously, it needs to be fixed. Ryan Tannehill or whoever's under center is not going to do well next season if he doesn't have the protection up front. So, do you think the Titans should sign Mike McGlinchey? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Head down to the comment section and let me know. All right, and free agency isn't the only option here. The draft. We got to talk about the draft because there are some treasures in this draft class for the O-line. Paris Johnson from Ohio State, Peter Skoronski from Northwestern. Those 2 guys have gone back and forth in plenty of mock drafts being drafted to the Titans, which I think, realistically, I think it's going to be one of those 2 guys with that 11th pick overall. You've got Broderick Jones from Georgia, Jaelyn Duncan, Dawand Jones. All these guys are going to be hot asks in the draft. They'll go, but I think it's really between Paris Johnson and Peter Skoronski. And I'm going to talk about those two in just a moment after I tell you about this super dope Titans t-shirt. Look, I need a new one. Mine's old, and I think this is just the turn of the page. It's a new era. I think it's time for some new gear, and this shirt might be the start of it. Head down to chatsports.com/Titans shirt to get some new gear. The old stuff, it wasn't working. Get new Titans gear so that we can match the new Titans Ran Carthon era that is upon us. This on Paris Johnson from Todd McShay, who mocked him to be drafted by Tennessee in the 11th with the 11th overall pick. Johnson is such an easy mover and allowed only 3 sacks over 26 starts since the start of 2021. He's versatile too, moving over from right guard to left tackle this season and not missing a beat. Johnson would keep Ryan Tannehill or whoever ends up being the quarterback over the next few seasons upright while also opening up lanes for Derrick Henry and the run game. And Johnson could perhaps eventually line up opposite Nicholas Petit-Frere, his former teammate at Ohio State, whom he replaced at left tackle this past season. Todd McShay said it. The kid's versatile. He can be thrown in and kind of change and adapt to where he is, which if he was playing right tackle and you need him at left, that's great. Considering where the Titans are at right now, you need somebody that's versatile. He's got the ideal size and the power. He's got great athleticism for his size, which, again, we're looking for young, talent, athletic, healthy guys to come in. This kid looks like cookie cutter and exactly what the Titans would order. He's very aware of his surroundings and in the environment and what's going on. I think this is the perfect piece to slide into this O-line and really help revamp it. But we got to talk about Peter Skoronski too, because in the off chance that Paris Johnson is off the board, this kid could get the job done too. Coming from PFF, Skoronski, was a man among boys in college this year. He's by far the best and most pro-ready tackle in the country. Left tackle should be his primary position, as that is where he spent all of his snaps this season at Northwestern. Skoronski even held his own against Ohio State's talented edge rushers, allowing only 1 pressure in that game. Impressive. Skoronski is too athletic and physical for most defensive ends at the college level. It was just too hard to get around the guy. He has excellent technique and footwork to go along with great hands. Some think he may move to guard at the next level, but his pass protection seems too valuable to move him to the interior. Simply put, Skoronski is one of the best offensive line prospects we've seen in the past decade. Another big statement on a draft prospect that could end up in Tennessee. That's huge. You're saying he's the best O-line prospect in this draft? Hello, PFF. Well, how do we get him? I don't know. I think both guys on this list are great options and are absolutely something Tennessee needs to find. They're smart, they're leaders, they're athletic, they're young, they've got it. They can bring something to the table. And it's no question that the Titans are trying to turn the page. They want to get rid of the culture that we've known for years. They want to restart, and they want to build up, retool, as Ran Carthon put it, and kind of build this franchise in the right direction, starting with that O-line. I think one of these guys will be that 11th pick in the draft. Who do you want it to be? If you're the GM and you have to make a decision with your first-round pick, who are you drafting? Type PJ for Paris Johnson, type PS for Peter Skoronski.